Hi, my name is Blesson. ZID is Z5695696, and I am presenting on topic 5 viruses using the movie Contagion for science and the cinema. Well, first, let's look at a synopsis of the movie. It's a medical thriller slash drama where a novel virus outbreak leads to a pandemic. The film follows scientists, public health officials, and ordinary people as the outbreak escalates. Now, this film was praised for being pretty grounded compared to other pandemic films. So, the key scientific concepts covered in this movie are viruses and the R naught number and vaccinations. And now, the portrayal of science is fairly balanced, primarily as a force of good, but at the same time, not flawless. Now, exploring the scientific concepts used in this film. Firstly, what is a novel virus? It's basically a new strain that was not previously identified in a species, which means there is no existing immunity in that population. Second concept would be what's an R naught number. It's basically a metric to measure the contagiousness of a disease, and it's the average number of people that one infected person will go on to infect. So in the film, scientists are shown urgently calculating the R naught of the virus MEV1, which determines how aggressively they need to respond. Next, what is a vaccine and how is it developed? So a vaccine contains weakened or dead strains of a germ to teach the immune system how to fight that germ strain off. Now, a summary of the stages of a vaccine development would be the first step is to identify the pathogen and understand the disease. The second step would be preclinical trials, where the aim is to decide whether the vaccine can generate an immune response and whether it is safe enough to try on humans. The third step is clinical trials. It is tested in humans in three carefully controlled steps, where in each step the vaccinated population is larger to test the efficacy of the vaccine. Now, the final step will be mass production, where once the vaccine is deemed safe for human use, it is mass produced and distributed. Now, in the movie, Ali Hextall follows the same procedures, which makes her eventual breakthrough feel like a huge accomplishment earned through many trials and errors. Now, how the film depicts science, we're going to be looking a bit more into that. Firstly, in my opinion, it depicts heroism under pressure. For example, when Dr. Ian defies the government order to stop his work on a cure, and Ali Hextall decided against contaminating the water supply with an unproven vaccine, as Ellis had suggested, and instead injects herself with a trial dose to test if it actually works. The second depiction is like a force for good, which again ties back to heroism under pressure. The scientists risked everything and pressed on to find a cure despite the massive misinformation campaigns. For example, Allen's false forsythia cure. And these campaigns were working against them. For example, another example would be not wanting to be part of any deception. Dr. Orantis returned to the village after being freed to warn the Chinese that they were given placebos and not the actual cure to the disease. My third point is the film balances the portrayal of science by also presenting scientists as humans and shows that science is not immune to selfish interests. For example, when one researcher distributed placebos instead of the actual cure to secure the freedom of Dr. Ornatus. Now, the personal impact for me is the film made me realize the amount of social, intellectual, and institutional pressure that scientists face during crises and how important and how long the process of finding a cure actually is when I did more research into it. Now, seeing Alan's misinformation campaigns in the film made me more critical of the content I consume and share, as it made me realize how easy it is to make a lie seem believable if you don't give it a second thought, and how it also is really easy to lie with numbers by misrepresenting them. And the third point is understanding the R naught value made me realize that individual hygiene choices are not trivial and that they are in fact mathematically significant in determining how widely a virus spreads. And that concludes my presentation. Thank you.